So if you're cadet number 21 or 24, for an emergency squad scenario, your job is to be an investigator. So you need to get back here to the wardroom as quickly as possible. Check in with the scene leader. If, for example, there's a man overboard or an abandoned ship, then your responsibility is to report to the fantail, muster fantail next to your respective life raft. If you want more information on the muster fantail responsibilities, check out Cadet 53's video and explains it in detail. And that's all I got to say about that.
So back here in the wardroom, we have what's called damage control diagrams for the ship. So as an investigator, you're going to be called on by the scene leader to go investigate or inspect a compartment. So you're the eyes and the ears of the scene leader. So let's use so it's important as the investigator that you know the lay of the land. You know your ship. You know the names of compartments. You know the numbers of compartments, what they're called, what's above and below, behind and in front of these compartments, because you're looking at a box that has overheads, decks, bulkheads. So let's use this box for an example. Commonly known as the bosun hole, but it's actually in the ship's drawings called the deck workshop. So it involves this compartment right here. So if there's a raging fire in the bosun hole, I'm assuming immediate actions have been taken and the watertight door is closed. There's a fire hose faked out, 4 or 5, or maybe even both, and fire main's running, and we're cooling off the bulkhead, and we're cooling off the deck, and the investigator's going to go check the compartment directly below there. So you're going to transit from the wardroom through the passageway, past the ship's office, the chief's mess, into the mess deck, into the thwart ship's passageway, then drop down to this ladder right here, goes into forward berthing, past the head, into this watertight door right here, which opens away from you, into this passageway to the next watertight door that opens towards you, and you find yourself in number 1 hold. So once you get there, you're going to investigate, because that's your job. So what you're going to do is look around. Look in the overhead, look for signs or symptoms of a spreading condition. So if the fire is starting to spread, the deck of the bosun hole is the overhead of number 1 hold. So we could have a fire erupt in there. So any kind of combustibles or any kind of materials around here, you'd want to move that stuff out of the way. But first and foremost is you want to make the report to the scene leader of what you've observed. Because like I said, you're the eyes and the ears of the scene leader. So make those reports. You may have to take some immediate actions. You may have to back up out of there and set a fire boundary or a smoke boundary at this transverse bulkhead right here. You notice we've got a lot of them on the ship. These are the major bulkheads that we want to keep stuff contained. So if we've got flooding or fire in this area, we don't want it moving on into here. So we're going to set these boundaries to slow it down. So once you make those reports, like I said, you may have to take some immediate action. So be conscious of what's around you. Also be conscious of your egress. Because if you have to back out of there in a hurry, you need to know how to do it confidently, especially if the lights go out. So there's a possibility that you may be wearing a self-contained breathing apparatus or an SCBA. So you should also know how to don one of those, how to turn on the air, how to activate the thing, because that's what's going to give you fresh air in the case that you need fresh air. So like I said, an investigator has to know his ship, so his or her ship. So know your ship.